Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for coming back and joining us for the second part of the Hypercare meeting. So we're joined again with Rich Conyers. So thank you, Rich, for helping us out this morning.
Sure.
All right.
So for Hypercare, has anything come over about the tiers? Any more discussion about, how we're going to handle that? Is that still being worked out? Tier 1, tier 2, all of that? Is that still being worked out?
So I want to say they have a meeting today
Okay.
to discuss that. I think it's now.
Oh, okay. So eventually we'll get some more clarification of how we're actually going to handle, questions and comments and issues and stuff like that. So, okay. But for now, let's work through, host disabled participant screen sharing. You don't want me to screen share?
Did I do something?
Or maybe you have to just allow or something. I don't know.
Let me see.
If not, then you're going to have to work through it. So, and you can drive and I'll talk.
Let's not get hasty now. Okay. Did that change?
There we go. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Right, let me share. Okay. Can you see my screen? I'm sharing.
I do.
You should see sourcing, kind of a little bit where we left off. I'm going to move this out of the way, this right side. Okay, so we got through electronic responses last time. I think I'll try to work in some of the questions that we had. I think there were some questions about who can actually do work on a sourcing project. Let's say if they are, out for a week or something, somebody needs to go in and do something. If you are not on the as a team member, then you won't be able to make updates, even if you're in the same department. So what does that mean? It means for an account executive, somebody with even administration, they can come in here and add a team member to a sourcing project. So instead of having to go through what we do today with procurement folder and reassigning or something like that, you can add a team member as a contributor, and then they'll be able to, either make an update or something like that. So, is there any questions about that?
I had one that came, I think it was yesterday. The user wanted to know if they were set up and listed as a organization. So not as the main org, but as a organization, under this solicitation, could you be listed as an internal contact?
Yeah, you can be picked as an internal contact.
So
yeah. Let's see.
I just wanted to share that around with the team because I don't know if they were on the sourcing build for yesterday and heard that question. So that was a good one.
Internal contact, and that is for so if you're on the project level and you're added as a you're not the main org, but you're an other org.
Or the org, correct.
Right. All right.
Could they be they still list that user as an internal contact?
Yeah, they'd be able to add that to the project. So I think everybody on there was part of the same org, but we can show that off next time. I just want to make sure that we get through what we wanted to get through today. That's why I'm taking note to make sure that we go through it last time or next time. Let's see, back to the prepare RFX. So here, we've gotten our electronic responses now, and it's unsealed. I think somebody jumped the gun and unlocked it for me. But what we would see when it was closed is there's two ways to unseal your procurement. It's not like it is today where we have a date that automatically unlocks. It's a manual process. So if you get a question, why, when I'm looking at analyze an award, I don't see any information. There is a text that says that, you know, bids are still locked. So they would have to come to the here. This would be come to the prepare RFX. This would be locked. Imagine this being locked. And then there would be a button up here also that says open sealed bids. They can use either to do it. They can click this on, which would unlock, and then set the date and the time. The same with the open sealed bids button. It does the same thing. And then you would, if you have paper, you can enter paper here. We can go, we'll just say pool crafters. And it'll look a little similar to what electronic responses. Let's say it was today. Add some documentation. Come to the item. I think there was a question last time about why an empty grid is showing up. There isn't a check as of now. I bet that would come maybe eventually. That if you submitted your solicitation without a line, but you did have a grid, then it would show up on the response. I think today what we have is if you don't enter any information, it'll fire an error and won't let you submit. Here, it'll let you submit. It'll just be an empty grid, but it won't stop the vendor from being able to submit their response to a grid that is there. Let's see, question. We did a questionnaire last time. I'm very general, and then they can click the next, then it goes right to the next. Technical, and then save. And cancel this bid. We'll just basically discard. But that's more for the buyer community, or it is for the buyer community. So if they were entering it on behalf of accidentally, then you can see that it's moved to the top, so you can see the paper, which ones. Now, if I want to see who's responded, then I would come to analyze an award. You can see I did last week, I did an electronic response, and then I did an alternate response. And then here I created another paper, and then for this one.
So Rich, could you show while we're on this screen, how you would print a paper, print that response?
Print right here.
So that was for Felicia.
Yeah, and that will open up a new window, and then you can print from here. Yeah, I wouldn't give it points for looking pretty, but the information's all there. So
thank you. That was for Felicia. That was one of VDOT's questions.
Okay. So yeah, because we do hear a lot about wanting to print.
Yeah, but they wanted to be able to print the responses in one document. So all of the responses that they received on a bid, they wanted to be able to print it all into one spreadsheet. That's what their question was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can print them individually.
Okay, individual is the only way they'll be able to download and print. They'll have to download and print it individually.
Each one, right.
Okay.
That's.
Thank you.
Now, Tracy, for questions like that, that I know that's a question, but it could be an eventual, worth looking into situation. I'm not saying this specific scenario would be something that they would like an enhancement, down the line. How are you guys handling that? Is that through an EVUT or what? like questions that are going to come in? How's that being handled? Do you know?
So what I was gonna do is to create a list of enhancement list and see if Lisa wants that in a ticket form in Jira somewhere, or how we want to do this.
Right.
So I probably would think it would be in a Jira ticket somewhere and just flag, just put the proper tag on it or something like that.
Yeah. Jira's probably better. Most people have access to it.
Mhm.
Putting it on SharePoint wouldn't be great because we don't have access to that.
Yeah.
So Jira would probably, Jira is probably better than even Confluence. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Hey, Rich, I wanted to
Yeah.
add, because when we look at this, the screen that you have up now is showing all the proposals from each supplier.
Right.
So, and it's showing a total though.
Yeah, it's
And the
just showing
total
the
column
total.
is showing the total of
Right.
what they, provided a bid on. So, to make it, I guess a little bit plainer, what they wanted to be able to do is to download, because I think they can do that now in current EVA, download that, and it's not a total. It'll show each line item or each lot that, each supplier
Mhm.
bidded on. So
Right.
that's what they want to be able to do.
Right.
So you wanted it in that bid tab form that we have in current EVA.
Yes. Yes.
See,
Right.
current EVA shows the supplier, then the line, the lot and line and everything like that.
Okay. I see what you mean. So
Yeah.
let's see. And yeah. All right. Let me, Felicia, let me take that and see if there's something I can figure out. Cause there is this scenarios tab that kind of gets into, it's a much more, robust way to kind of, what am I trying to say?
To list it out
Yeah,
between
list it
line
out.
and lot and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Felicia, let me take a look at that and see if I can maybe find a solution for that. So maybe through scenarios, I might be able to figure something out. So
Thank you, Rich. Much appreciated.
sure.
I think I have a solicitation that's labeled multiple awards. You want to look for one of those.
Yeah. Let's get through this. I took a note of that
Mhm.
specific scenario, and yeah, I'll take a look at that. And when we come back, we can take a look. Any other scenarios around this section before I start picking winners and how we start posting stuff to vendor portal, status updates and everything? No? Okay. All right. So we'll say that we've gone through. I think we'll pick. I mean, CGI test prod. I guess that's fine. So here's how you choose the vendor. This isn't awarding to the vendor even, but this is how you're going to select your vendor. There's a green kind of award trophy icon. You can pick that. You can see that these buttons, intent and award, are now available. They were available before, but they're read only until you pick a winner. Because I think some people were getting into the habit of just not picking a winner, but then they would go to vendor portal and it wasn't showing, all of the information. So you have to pick a winner before the information on the award tabs in vendor portal are available. So we've picked. So let's just publish the bid tab. Now, I know this is the system bid tab. I know some folks would like to post their own, and they can do that through this, but it'll also post to vendor portal. So we post the bid tab. So what happens to this is new demo. If I could spell, jeez. All right, and you can see the status is updated to bids open from closed, and the bid tab Is not shown. It's shown, it's line, it's grid and then line number. If we go back to the sourcing project, pair. Yeah, you may get a question of that kind of goofy look. So this is the grid, it's grid 1, and then this is the line code. I suspect eventually that be cleaned up a little bit because it could be confusing. So but that's what it means. It's just what the grid is and the line number. And then the supplier description, bid details, amount. This looks very similar to what we have today. And then,
So Rich, on
yeah.
those blank lines, is it because they didn't submit a bid? You see how you have the 3 1-1-1.
So for
10.
off procurement, so let's see. 3-1-1. So it's this one. Oh, so did I not? Let's go back to the RFX activity. That was for off procurement, right? Yeah,
Yes.
off-site procurement. So let's go look. Yeah, quotes 1 of 2. So I think when I was doing the paper response, I didn't hit that next tab. Come on, stop picking the. Let's view it. Yeah, it's for this one. Yeah.
So that was a no bid.
Right.
Okay, so it would be good, I guess, if it said no bid, since
Yeah, I didn't decline it. So so there was an option if I
Okay.
wanted to decline.
Okay, then it wouldn't have
So-
showed up on the bid tab.
Right.
Okay. See.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't looked at that. I'm taking a note. Decline, show on bid tab. Yeah, I'll take a look at that one too.
Okay.
No, that was a good catch. I just missed it when I was adding the response.
Okay, this is Ethel, and I would like to ask a question.
Sure.
When we are looking at the titles here, delivery date, unit price, and then decline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this decline, I see there's a arrow here. Is that for a selection? And then because I look at it from this viewpoint, when I see decline, do we have a section where we can, not us, but the agency will have an area for comments or whatever? Because when I look at decline, why, and that would be an item that could potentially launch a protest
No,
if someone doesn't understand what that means.
no, Ethel, we'll talk about it. We can talk
Okay.
about it, yeah, afterwards, because
Okay.
yeah, we'll talk about it.
All right, thanks.
Mhm.
All right. RFX activity. Let's go back to analyze and award. So we did bid tab. If agency does an intent, they can, I know they wouldn't do it maybe in such succession, but we'll just do it for the demo purposes. I'm going to add my notice of intent, save and close. And then we'll go back to vendor portal, new demo, status is updated. Status here is updated, and then it adds the intent of who we've chosen. And that's why you need to pick, a winner. Before, if you just posted an intent without it, this would be blank and it would have an intent date, but it wouldn't have who. So my guess is you would probably get a lot of calls for that. Any questions about intent? to the award now. To test prod, just so you can see the comment. Notice of award. And let's look, and now the status is awarded. All right, so you'll see, you and I, the award information isn't showing. Well, it's because when you're publishing the award, to be able to, for the system to know and pull that information from the right place, you have to create the shell contract. So here on the contract, as part of the project, here there will be a new contract, award to, or contract for test prod. The type is always going to be master agreement for now, and then save and close. And that could be a question that would come. Let's say I award, but it's not showing publicly of who I awarded to. It's because you have to create the shell contract. Any questions about that? That I can see coming up. It's just the system, just needs that draft contract to know where to pull that line item from. So.
Yeah, and it's helpful to know too that it's if they're calling in and they're saying that my status didn't get updated to awarded, they want to make sure that they click on that publish award tab and then fill out that process. But if they're saying that their supplier, like Rich said, if they're saying that their supplier is not showing under the award tab, then you will know that they need to come in and create that contract, that draft shell contract. So it's two issues.
Yeah.
It depends on what they're asking. If they're saying that my status didn't get updated,
Yeah,
then like I said, they would need to do that publish, the publish award tab. But if they're saying that, the supplier is not showing under the award tab, then you would know it's the contract.
So Tracy and Rich, wouldn't it make, I guess, more sense that, when we're training them on this, first, if they want to publish the bid tab, we can tell them to do that, but it doesn't look like the bid tab is showing the list of suppliers' names on that either. But yeah, see, it's not showing you.
That's a supplier
okay,
right
okay.
there.
Oh, so off-site procurement was, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
So in training, then we can tell them, okay, you do the bid tab. But then maybe the next step after you hit the award icon would go ahead on and create the contract shell before you publish the award.
That's what we're currently doing.
Okay.
It's just some agencies don't want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what we're currently doing. Yeah. So, we're not making it so you have to, but if you want it to show it, this is what you have to do. So that's what we're training, and we're telling them that in the training. But you got some agencies that they just wanted to use the vendors, or they just wanted to do it kind of like a VBO buyer.
But how transparent is that if they're not doing that? So
that's where you want to come in.
That's There you go, Felicia.
Hey, you're it. But yeah, in the training, we're telling them, to do the bid tab and, intent and award and all of the steps. But, and essentially, when it comes down to it, it's all up to that user. But yeah, if we can all drive that home when we're training them and have kind of one one way of instructing them, then yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
But like you said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
That it's definitely a question I could see come up. I awarded, but it's not showing my, the vendor that I awarded to. Also from here, previously you could only award to one vendor. Now, when updated the system, you could pick multiple awards. There's also an option to be able to undo, like say, I what we see today, Tracy, a lot is, I awarded, but I didn't mean to award, or it's just, a status update that I didn't mean to do, or, I wanted, I just want to take it back. Whatever the reason is. So here we will, the way that we would undo this award for whatever reason. I don't think it's something they want to do often, but so you have to go into the line, set the status to delete it, and let's see if that job is running. And see, it set the status back to intent posted.
Yes, they have the option now to fix it themselves.
Yep, it's not a data fix anymore. It's but it does track it. You can see in the it does track that it was done. So let's go back to publish. Yeah, because you can see the latest and when it was done. So any questions about undo? Pulled out a bid tab, the intent. Oh, I accidentally no awarded, but that was we've seen a few no awards that have been, maybe I jumped the gun a little bit and wanted to go back. So over the years.
I have one quick question. This is Ethel
Hey,
again.
sure.
When you go through the sourcing, it's awarded, you're proceeding with the project, and you may have a change order, and I know you go to hierarchy to this your change order. Will it automatically update here or not?
So if you do a change order meaning like on the shop or procurement, or we already have the contract rolling, like where's this change order happening?
I think it's under contracts. And if you can click contracts,
Sure.
there is a download where over on the side, it usually, maybe it is in the top where you have sourcing and then contracts, and it's hierarchy.
She means on the contract.
Right
That's
there.
on the contract.
Okay. And that's where you do your change order. And I am wondering if it will automatically, exactly. And you'll do
Right.
your change order there.
Right.
If it will automatically pick up that and put it into this bid tab. I'm just wondering if it will or not.
No, it's not going to come back from once you're past that into the contract. It's not going to come back and then update everything here. Yeah, it doesn't come back
To the
do
award
that.
and analysis. Okay.
Right,
All right.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Once you're past this and into the contract, all the updates would stay on the contract. But yeah, that's a good question. I hadn't
just
thought
wanted-
about that in a while. Yeah.
I just wanted to note that we have 10 minutes left for the recording. So that's just for the recording. So we can still keep going after the recording has stopped.
Oh, that's right. You were saying you only had 40 minutes of recording or something like that.
Yes.
That's-
Yeah. So with that said, Tracy, maybe we need to just hold our discussions and conversations until after he goes through the whole demo, so that we can make sure that we're getting it on the recording.
Yes.
So we've gone through to the contract. So this is really sourcing.
Yeah, completed
Tracy,
everything on
yeah.
we've added a paper response, we awarded to a supplier, we've created a contract, and now we're
Right.
just following up on anything that we had from last time or discussing any new items.
So Felicia, anything that's come up?
Oh, yeah, we had a list, right, Tracy?
So I think we've already got through
Uh,
showing
hold
you how to
on.
print.
Okay, print was one.
Yeah.
And then I'll take that one, Felicia, and see if I can, because I think, because we can get into the scenarios. The scenarios look a little bit like the bid tab that we kind of have today. Do we have print on that bid tab? Oh, yes, we do. We have downloads. That's right. We do. Man, I'm trying
Yeah.
to forget the old system, but it keeps pulling me back in. Yeah. So yeah, Felicia, I'll take that one for sure. And we can discuss it next time.
Okay, now Tracy,
And-
has it been confirmed that the revisit button is not going to be,
Ooh, let's go.
Because what he was-
that's right.
yeah,
I remember that. I remember that one too. And I was like, I got to show her. I got to show her. So
okay,
workflow tab, right?
Mhm.
So I'm in as a buyer and a employee, and they do not have revisit.
Yes, I thought that was going away and everyone was not going to have access to that. That's why I wanted to kind of steer clear away from that.
Yeah.
okay, that's good. Because Rich, when we were testing, what happened is that we got to the end, we was doing an amendment
Mhm.
and we was getting ready to hit publish, but then I said, hold up, let's go back and add a supplier in the
Okay.
second amendment. So we hit the revisit button, and when we did that, we weren't able to publish it until we went back and created a new round. So if that button is
Right.
going away, that takes care of that
Yeah.
issue altogether. Great.
Yeah, this is a regular buyer and an employee, so they shouldn't have any of those kind of admin type
Great.
functions. So I'm in as a buyer right now, just a buyer, and they don't. This is the workflow tab, and they don't have revisit this step, so
Okay.
should be good. So
Some of the other ones that they had on that list, Felicia, I think we need to just work through it and
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
if it's truly an issue or if it was a timing thing when they
Okay.
did an
Yeah.
amendment. So
Yeah.
yeah, Tracy, take
Yeah.
a look, and once you get it.
I finished it already. I just
Okay.
need to go and test. I was gonna wait and get with Felicia after everything had kind of died down today with my meetings and stuff. But
Good
I've
luck.
already reviewed it and made my notes to it, and then I did a screenshots of how they would print it out and everything.
Great.
So I just added to that spreadsheet. I mean, to that list that they had.
Cool.
Oh,
So I'll
good. If
wait
you've
and get it
already
to you after
filled it
that.
out, then I don't have to, because I was filling it out
I've
too.
already, yep, I've already filled it out and everything. I just
Great.
haven't got a chance to talk to you about it because, like I said, I was trying to wait till my stuff died down today.
Okay.
With you on it.
Yeah, that'll be 5:00, right? Things start dying down around 5. Is that-
Yeah, I got another 1 to 1:30, and then I should be good.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Um,
I'll be getting with you after that, Felicia.
Okay. So
good.
set up.
Does anyone else have any questions or want to
Yeah.
see anything?
Anybody else been in the system, poking around? Because that's how you're going to learn it. Me
Yeah.
talking about it is, I know it's exciting and everything, but it's not really. But going in there and playing around to see and getting the feel of it, then that's where you're going to.
And you know what, Rich,
Where
I
to
do
go
have
now.
one more question just
Sure.
for clarification purposes. So if
Sure.
if you had went in there before it closed and you had created another round,
Mhm.
the question just went away just that freaking quick. Will the supplier on their side still see the initial round, which is round 0? Or will they go back in and they'll only be able to bid on what you have in round 1, which is the amended round?
They'll see both on the vendor side, but they'll
Mhm.
see that the previous round was closed and that the new round is available and open for bidding.
Okay, because see, on that side, you also have an alternate and replace proposal on the
Yeah.
supplier side.
Mhm.
So what should they pick? Should they pick alternate? And will alternate remove any bids? I mean, will the alternate include their previous bid and this new amended bid? Or will,
Well,
I mean,
see-
how does that work?
right, see right here, that's this scenario. So
Mhm,
this is the same vendor. This is what I did last week, an electronic response.
mhm.
I have two. So I had picked alternate. So that's why I have two responses for the
Okay.
same vendor. So if they pick
Okay.
replace, then
Mhm.
it'll be proposal one. It'll ask you which proposal to replace in case you've created a
Okay.
bunch of them. You'll pick proposal one or two or three. And then this is what it will show here. Whichever one you
Okay.
replaced will still show here, but you'll only have one. So.
Okay, so I guess the best thing would be to tell them then to, which one do you recommend they use? I mean, because that can be replaced. I'm thinking replace would be
yeah.
better. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
replace would be better.
yeah,
Alternate is, I mean, if you have multiple users within your vendor, I mean, there's supply room and stuff like that have multiple locations and stuff like that. They may do, I don't know why they would bid against each other, but I
Right,
guess it's
right.
possible that because the way we set up Advantage, we were basically, why would you have multiple proposals within the same agency? And so we had started to steer the system to only you only could have one. You could just replace it or amend it as many times as you wanted to, but it was yeah, it was said, you know, there could be a possibility that one agency would have multiple proposals. So, you know.
Hey, Rich, could it also be used to an alternate if they're bidding on an alternate item that's similar to what, you know, was in the solicitation?
Mm-hmm.
So could they choose alternate if they're going to be bidding on an alternate item?
They certainly could.
Similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it would look like this. They would have two separate proposals,
Mhm.
and then you would have to, you know, review each and choose accordingly. So
Gotcha.
yeah, good question.
It says we have less than a minute on recording,
Okay.
so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording now, so it won't just drop
Okay.
us. All right,
Oh, will it kick us out of the meeting altogether if it
I
drops?
hope not. That's why I'm trying to
You're not
stop
gonna
the
test it,
recording
yeah.
beforehand.
Let's not test
Let me
that.
go ahead and stop this. It said I had less than a minute.
Okay.
Hey,